So I think there's kind of different shades of solutions engineering to your point. Well put. There are pre-sales engineering. That's my world that I live in is the pre-sales engineering. And we're the ones who are going to be gathering those requirements, discovery, validation, follow-up questions, etc. Now, we may get a practitioner on the call who really does want that done, right? They want to understand it at the code level. And so sometimes we may get people that can go even beyond what our technical capabilities are. So we have an architecture team or an experts team that we can bring in, or they can parachute in. I would say they get used in less than 10% of opportunities, but when you need them, boy, it's great to have them there. So if you're a little more technical and maybe a little less storyteller, relational, facilitational, the architect roles for pre-sales engineering is a really good thing to look at, especially if you're coming from a more traditional engineering background. It's going to be a smaller lift to go from where you're at to an architect than it is to go from here to like a pre-sales engineer. You can work those muscles in the architect, like, hey, I want to get really good at discovery, right? That's a skill set that you can hone. There's these pre-sales engineers, there's architect. Then there are also people who are scoping, like professional services or post-sales support. And there are people that are really good at taking an implementation, looking at that technology and figuring out opportunities for improvement. So almost like ongoing optimization, or I always call it proper care and feeding. But the idea of kind of these post-sales engineers who are technical and capable and are also going to be with that customer for the duration of the time they're with your organization. So they're going to need to have not just take on what the customer might do, but they're going to have to go into like the actual practical of here's exactly how you should do it. Once you're done with that, do this. Once you're done with that, do this. And those have various roles and titles at different organizations. Some are called like customer success managers or post-sales support or whatever, but there's engineering roles inside of those as well. And then I would say outside of that, other thing that we do see on occasion in pre-sales engineering is domain experts as well, which is kind of fun because people that understand how the product works, but maybe they're not as technical in the product, but they're really familiar with how other customers are deploying that solution or configuring that solution in order to achieve great results. And so they come in almost at a strategic layer more than a technical layer. And but they have to understand the tech so that they can talk about the strategy and how to deploy that technology in a meaningful way to achieve your outcomes. And so like in that world, there's strategic advisors or pre-sales consultants or any of those types of roles. And those are kind of the big ones that I see in the space.